Good morning. Welcome to Market Mashup, our weekly recap of financial markets and what we have in store for this week that might have an impact on stocks and bonds going forward. I'm Scott Naska, President of Generation Capital Management. I hope you all have a good last week. The markets were higher last week. We had the Dow Jones up 0.9%, S&P up 0.8%, and the NASDAQ was up 0.3%. So, modest gains across all three major market indices as we still see stronger earnings coming out, as well as investors' appetite for taking more risks. So, it's been a good, first 3+ months of 2023, and we look forward to hopefully continuing that trend going forward. The bond market is something we want to pay attention to, and we have the 2-year yield at 4.16% and the 10-year at 3.56%. So basically, a 60-point inversion that we're still seeing take place right now, where the short end of the market is yielding higher than the long end. So you want to pay attention to that because, as we've mentioned in past market mashups, this inversion usually tends to lead to economic slowdowns, as well as potentially a recession taking place in the markets too. So the market, the stock market takes a look at that. The Fed focuses on that, and you just want to pay attention to that. We've got a lot of data points coming out this week. We have the Fed Beige Book on Wednesday, existing home sales on Thursday, two numbers that the Fed pays attention to. And we also have a lot of Fed governors speaking this week towards the end of the week. So you want to pay attention just to see if they have anything in their comments or discussions that might provide some clues to their views on the markets and interest rate policy going forward. We're in prime earnings season now for the quarter. We've got some big companies coming through. Last week, a lot of the big banks came through. This week we have Johnson & Johnson, Bank of America, Netflix, and Procter & Gamble are 4 of the key companies that are coming out that you want to pay attention to and see if there's any indications of what's going on with economic consumer sentiments, the consumer purchasing power out there. See if the companies are seeing anything on the inflation side, if they have to raise prices. See how their earnings numbers are coming in. So a lot of earnings coming out from a lot of different industries, and you really want to pay attention to that just to see if we're seeing any signs of slowdown taking place with the consumer or with companies themselves. So a lot of numbers coming out this week, and this over the next few weeks we'll see most of the companies coming through. Next week should be some of the bigger tech companies coming out, the Amazons, the Googles of the world. So you want to pay attention to that as well. And I know the markets will be. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our website, www.gencapmgmt.com. Take a look at what we have on site. We've got a lot of blogs out there. Take a look at John's top tips for financial planning. Information out there. There's a lot of good things that we're talking about in terms of our views on markets and how we manage money. If you need a second opinion, we'd love to take a look at your portfolios and offer any comments or suggestions just to make sure that you're reaching your goals and objectives, and your risk profile matches what you're looking for in terms of how your portfolio is currently allocated. So our team is ready to answer any questions that you have. Once again, my name is Scott Naska.